Welcome back to Auntie's farm. Today we're going to be getting in the veggie garden and we're going to be looking at the veggies that we're growing here on Auntie's farm, and we're going to be doing a little bit of digging and a little bit of replanting. Come on, let's have a look in the garden. Today we're going to be looking at some of the different veggies in the veggie garden on Auntie's farm. We have a few different veggie gardens here, so this is going to be looking at our little veggie garden. This is our capsicum plant. It's still very young, but you can see there's a little baby capsicum just starting to grow. One in the front, and if you look just behind, here you can see a second one growing in behind. And there's lots of flowers. The flowers is what turns into the capsicums. So there's going to be a lot more capsicums on this plant. So you can see the flowers here. They start as a tiny little bud, and then they turn into the flower, and then the flower grows into the capsicum. We have two eggplants. This one is starting to grow new shoots at the bottom. That means it's going to start growing more and flowering and growing more eggplants. This one already has one eggplant on it. We're also growing some baby spinach. Today we will be pulling some of the baby spinach out because this is what it's supposed to look like. The little leaves that you can pick off and eat, but some of them have gone to shoot. See how they're tall and the leaves are long? That means that we can't eat that. Sometimes we do leave these in the ground because when they do start to flower, the bees love them. So we leave them in for the bees. But today we need the room, so we'll be pulling out all of the ones that have gone to flower. We'll leave in the ones that are still good, and then we'll plant some more. This is our strawberry plant. It's not looking too healthy. The one little strawberry that we have, we've only picked a few strawberries off this one. It's still new, so it might need some time to grow, but it does have some really healthy flowers here at the back. See the white flowers? So we might see if it's okay growing in this area, otherwise we might have to move it. But we've got one strawberry and a couple of flowers. So the flowers start out as buds, and then they bloom into the flowers, and then the flowers turn into little green strawberries, and then the strawberries turn red. There's no other strawberries on here yet. This is our spinach. It's sort of like the baby spinach, but it grows a lot bigger. We don't have many big leaves on here at the moment because we have just picked some, but when we are ready to use it, we do just pick the leaf and then that's what we eat. There's no flowers on the spinach, we just eat the leaves as they grow. You can see the little ones are starting to grow. Our spinach is really healthy, so as long as we keep picking it, it'll keep growing. We have lots of zucchinis coming on at the moment. So the zucchinis start out as a bright orange flower like this. See how this is just a flower, and then the flower starts to grow a zucchini. See how this flower has a zucchini at the bottom? And eventually when the zucchini gets big enough, it grows and grows, and the flower at the end gets smaller and dies. And when the zucchini is ready, the flower will fall off on its own, or you can pick it or cut it off. So the easiest way to get a zucchini off the plant is to cut it, but you can also grab the zucchini and twist. Twisting it is a good way to get the zucchini off without doing any damage to the plant. You have to be careful when you're picking zucchinis because the leaves and the stems are spiky, and the stem of the zucchini is spiky. Our cherry tomato plant still has lots of cherry tomatoes, but it is dying. So we have a new one that's growing. We actually have two new ones. So they've got one little one here in the pot plant, and then we've also got one here in the garden. So we'll have to tie this one up, and hopefully we'll get some more cherry tomatoes. Okay, so first we're going to take out the baby spinach that has gone to shoot. See how it's really tall and the leaves are pointy? that means that we can't eat it anymore. So we're going to take these out. So this one has also gone to shoot, so we take it out. And this one, both of these, yep. Take them out. And this one. Now these two are okay because they've still got the round leaves and they haven't started growing up tall. So what I will do is take any of the yellow leaves, I'll take those off to help them keep growing. So we'll take off the yellow leaves and any leaves that don't look healthy. And that should help these keep growing. As soon as we stop picking the leaves, that's when the baby spinach will start to shoot and then we won't be able to eat it anymore. So we keep picking, and now we're going to make some space for the new baby spinach. And we want to make sure they're going to be covered. So we'll put the first one here. So we're going to pull the dirt around it like that, and then we're just going to push it in. Careful not to squash any of the leaves. And we'll get the next one and put it here. Same thing, we just sit it in the middle and pull the dirt around, push it down, but don't squash the leaves. And then next one, number 3, can go here. So we'll put it in, pull the loose dirt around, make a little bit of a mound, and then push it down. Last one, number 4, will go here. So pull the dirt around, push it down. Don't squash the leaves. Now we need to water our new baby spinach. So we have 4 new baby spinach. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have 2 old baby spinach. 1, 2. How many baby spinach do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 baby spinach. Now we need to water them. Now if you look at our zucchini plants, we've got this really big one here, and then we've got 2 middle-sized zucchini plants, and then we've got 1 really small zucchini plant here. Now I think this plant is so small because we planted it a little bit too close to the edge of the garden. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to dig it up and move it into the middle. Maybe it might be happier there and it might grow a bit bigger, and the zucchinis might grow a bit bigger as well. So we're going to try and move the plant over. Hopefully it'll work. Okay, so this might be a little bit tricky because we have to dig the zucchini plant out first, make sure that we keep it safe and intact, and then we have to replant it. So I'm going to get ready for replanting by just loosening up some of the dirt over here where I'm going to plant it. Now to dig it out, we need to make sure that we're not cutting off any of the roots. The roots are under the dirt so we can't see them. So when I'm digging with my spade, I'm going to dig a good area around the plant to make sure that I'm not cutting off any important roots. So I'm going to try and take a lot of the dirt with me that the roots are already in. That way the chance of the zucchini plant surviving will be a lot higher. I am also using the spade to feel if I can feel any roots. I'll make sure I dig wider away from the plant. I think I've got the whole plant and the roots. I'm going to try and lift it and hope that I've got all of the roots. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to dig the dirt around and pat it down. I'm hoping that little zucchini plant will be a lot happier in its new home now, further away from the edge of the garden. Now we need to give it a water. Next thing that we're going to plant is a passion fruit. Passion fruits grow on a vine, so it needs to be planted at the back of the garden so that it can grow up the trellis. So as it grows on a vine, we'll tie it to the back. So it needs to be able to get close enough to the back that we can tie it to it as it grows. So I'm going to loosen up the dirt so that the roots will be able to grow deep down into the soil and it won't be too compact. Now when we empty these, I find it's easier if we give it the sides a good squeeze. That way we want as much of this dirt to come out with it as possible. Because it's a seedling, it's already taken root in this pot, so we want to make sure the roots stay in all of the dirt that it's already growing in. So we'll give it a little squeeze, and then I find it's best if we put our hand on top and let gravity pull it out, and then I'll just give the roots at the bottom a little bit of loosening up. That way they should have room to grow into the new soil. Whoops. Place it in like that. And then we'll get all that loose dirt from around. And we'll pop this in here so I know that it's going to be the passion fruit and it's going to grow up and up and up all over the building. So now we need to water it. Now the next thing I want to plant is beans. But beans grow nice and tall, so they need a backboard. So they need to go right at the back of the garden, just like the passion fruit, but they don't grow on a vine like the passion fruit. They'll grow about 45 centimeters tall. So I need to make room for the beans. And to do that, I want to move this spinach out of the way. So I'm going to move the spinach forward, pick it up, and that was a nice move. Okay. And we've got a few here that we need to plant. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we have our new veggies. We've got our baby spinach. We have the capsicum. We've got the passion fruit. We have strawberries. We have the eggplant. And we've got the beans up the back. And we've got spinach and another eggplant. Then we have our big zucchini. We have our other 2 zucchini. And we have our little zucchini. That's all of the plants that we planted today. Thanks for visiting Auntie's farm. I had so much fun today. What was your favorite veggie that you saw? Was it the capsicums or the zucchinis or the beans or the baby spinach? Maybe the passion fruit? What was your favorite thing that we saw? What's your favorite veggie? My favorite veggie is the zucchinis. Thanks for gardening with me. I had so much fun. Don't forget to subscribe to see more of my videos, but most importantly, don't forget to be kind. I'll see you next week for a special Christmas episode. See you then. Bye-bye.